I have a confession to make. I have not been being myself on this podcast or in any of my content for the last 6 months. I have honestly been struggling to find my footing. And the only reason that is a thing is because I have not been being myself. Go figure. I've got this whole podcast telling you about living in authenticity. And I have been trying to shrink to fit some narrative that started back when I was a kid. And so this episode is really just going to be me being real about not being real. So back when I was a youngin', back when I was a kid, I was told very often that I talked too much and that I thought I knew everything. And as I got older, that evolved into including, you think you're better than everybody. And I heard this from several adults and also some other people who weren't as old, but who just kind of parroted what these grown people were saying. And while at the time, my response to that was to, perk up and be like, whatever. I responded to it like it was rolling off of my back, but it wasn't. That messaging really got in there. It seeped into my psyche and became an inner dialogue that I still sometimes struggle with. And so while what people love the most about me and what my clients actually find the most impactful about me is that I'm direct and I don't mince words. And I say the things that sometimes people are afraid to say. Hard conversations are my jam. But even though that's true, when I am in public facing situations, I have been finding myself shrinking. And that was something that came up a lot for me last year. And so, I started this podcast last year. And so I sometimes have been struggling to find content and to write and to, decide what I want to talk about. The struggle isn't because there's a lack of things to say or that everything's been said before. It's not true. The reason that I've been struggling is because I haven't been being myself. So that stops today. That stops today. I am committed to living my best, real, authentic, beautiful, big life. And I am not going to be shrinking to fit. I don't want you to shrink to fit either. And I cannot tell you how to live well, how to love well, how to embody your wholeness if I'm not doing it. That's the one thing I love about being a coach is that it keeps me in integrity. I'm constantly looking to make sure that what I am saying is also what I am doing. I do not believe in, do as I say, not as I do. I do not subscribe to that idea. And so this episode is short and sweet because really it's just me making a promise to you to bring my whole self because that's what we're here to do. And so let me tell you what that might look like. Not what it might look like, what it's going to look like. I'm definitely going to be talking more about sexuality. I think that, sex is such a thing at this stage in life. It's at every stage, right? But now that we are in this space with, seasoned wisdom and changing bodies, we still want to be desired and we still have the desire to desire, and we're going to talk about it. We're also going to be talking about, all the stuff that it takes to really be in a good, healthy relationship, which is a lot sometimes. So we're going to talk about the hard parts and the beautiful parts. We're just going to talk about everything. So starting next week, we're going to be digging into some really juicy content. I'm already thinking about like why odor compatibility is important in relationships. Like, I cannot tell you how many women I've talked to that said that they just didn't like the way that their person smelled. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about why men are compelled to send penis pictures. Like, why is that a thing? We're going to talk about it. We're also going to talk about red flags. Like, how many red flags does it take before you break up with somebody? But not just the hard stuff. We're also going to talk about, you know, experiencing deep love and really coming home to ourselves and being able to look ourselves in the mirror and say, I love you to who you see and mean it. We're getting into it. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for staying while I figure this shit out. But I'm here. I'm here and we're doing it because love is continuously looking at yourself, continuously checking in with yourself, continuously making sure that you are bringing your whole self to every part of your life. I'm doing it and I'm so glad you're here with me. I love you.